Hey Sag, welcome to Larisa Lili Temperance. Today we're doing your love read. This is for anyone Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the sign of Sag. And as always, a general read, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. My Sages. Reminder, Sag, I am taking in personal readings. So if you guys are interested in a personal reading, my email is in the inbox below. Just send me a message and I will be in touch. It's a virtual meeting, so I do look forward to meeting some of you if interested. Now, let's get into this meditative message because you guys know I just want to always get straight into it as I'm in the energies. And this, Sag, you've really been giving me very heavy energies and hard messages to put out. And what I want to say is this is good, okay? Whatever is happening and these transitions, a lot of you are going through this stage where you're taking some time to really rethink about your circumstances. Now, in love, some of you have been in a third-party situation and finally coming to some level, whether you or your person, guys. So again, put the energies where it fits. It could be a person you're dealing with. But there's something about surrendering to the whole situation, taking a step back, placing some boundaries, and then there's a compromise. And I feel like the compromise has to do with your internal self. Now, you know, everyone thinks like, why are you so crazy? Why is this all good energy? The reason it's good is because I'm a firm believer that we need to be provoked for change. And we don't really change our lives unless we're provoked. And however that provocation is or how it comes, honestly, it's always our biggest story. And for those of you who are going through a really serious time right now in terms of your heart space and your mind space, there is a reason for this transition. So, all right, I had to give that guidance in advance. So let's get into this read, Sag. Yeah, religious factor. And this is important. Your love life is influenced by your spiritual path here. And I really feel this is an internal transition, Sag. So let's see what else Spirit gives me. Okay. So here we have reconciliation. We have honeymoon, and this, I always associate this card with the Six of Swords, and I also associate this with self-care. And I feel like right now there is a space of making decisions. Some of you with this reconciliation is because in your heart space you're still thinking about things, right? We have wedding, which to me just tells me that this was something. Some of you have children with this person, or were actually either married with this person or just really in a long-term relationship with this person, or someone you saw a future with. But I strongly feel a lot of you were married or have children with this person. Obviously, free yourself. Yep, it's time to take control back of your life. And I really do feel that. And then you have, this could be the one. I feel the battle here is... this is where the struggle comes in because, you know, for those who've been married, of course you marry and your goal is to marry one time. You're not looking to, you know, divorce. That's never the goal when you commit to someone. And so to me, there's a lot of question marks with this reconciliation. It could be that your person wants to reconcile, so maybe there's conversations coming up. But this is a question of going back or freeing yourself. And right now, the decision has a lot to do with where your spirit is. All right, so I'm just going to get into these readings. Let's get into the more in-depth guidance here. I'm going to put these right here because I feel like you're going to give me a very deep message here, Sag. All right, Spirit, give me more on this energy for Sag. Okay. So what do we have? First, yes. This is about prioritizing you. This is the Nine of Pentacles, material harvest in this deck. And I feel like you're redefining what's important, what matters at this moment. The 9 is minor arcana of the Hermit, and we've gained wisdom. So a lot of you obviously are either in a separation or really in a deep thought. And this is about reprioritizing. Yeah, deception and envy. It's like not lying to yourself again. Yep, 9 of Cups, another 9, Hermit energy. This is about your fulfillment of wishes. Like what makes you happy? I think you're not lying to yourself about the truth about how fulfilling this energy is. And what's peeking out is the solar plexus. And just like I said, this is about your chakras, is an internal work. And I always associate solar plexus with Empress energy. I'm going to actually leave this one out because I think this energy is very important, because I associate this with Empress energy, but also your meaning of life, your drive. And so I feel there is a shift on that. So there we go, another 9, spiritual strength. And this is exactly, to me, you know, in this deck, the words here are important, spiritual strength, because this is about your soul. This is the 9 of Wands in the Rider Waite deck. And the 9 of Wands, the wands represent the soul. And so you are going through a spiritual path right now where you're redefining yourself, the self, right? Gaining wisdom for the self. Yep, how to move forward with the Chariot. I think there's an energy of really determined for progression and really challenging this idea of what's important to you, right? The 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. There's a lot of redefining life for you. We have truth, which is judgment. We have a new beginning, which I feel a lot of you are choosing a new direction here. And then recognition and reward, which is the 3 of Pentacles. 2 3s, which means beautiful. It's almost like you're recognizing you're changing. The 3 of Pentacles is how we show up in the world. It also represents something like a project we have or something, but the main, to me, the main message of the 3 of Pentacles is something that's valuable to us, that shows that it's a representation of who we are. And I think this moment in time is you recognizing what really represents who you are. Again, back to the 9s, Hermit energy. And I feel you're also looking into what would it mean if you did go back into this connection, if you allowed yourself to go back, you know, and connect with your person. Give me more on the spiritual strength. Yeah, so 3 of Cups. Would you reconcile? And also, to me, this represents this third-party situation as well, where I feel like a lot of you did experience a third-party situation. Give me more on the spiritual strength. I also feel that the releasing, so that pain of what happened is something you're kind of releasing, which is why you really need a lot of time for yourself. Okay, more on the spiritual strength. This is also the energy of the provoke to change that I'm feeling. Give me more on this 9 of Wands here, right? Which is the Chariot. This is when we say, nope, yep, exactly, the Fool. It's a provoke to change, Ace of Swords. Truth, integrity, honesty, 10 of Swords, done. There is something that I think your spirit is saying, I don't care, I don't want it. You're coming, an energy of coming to resolution and resolving more about you. So let's see the Chariot. This, to me, this is like a representation of your determination. Give me more of the Chariot. Yeah, High Priestess. And the Surrender, 5 of Swords. And bottom of that is the Chariot. So we are confirming the determination to surrender. It kind of, it's a spiritual path, right? You're intuitively really, like, your eye is opening and you're surrendering. You don't want to fight anymore. You're seeing things for what it is. It's almost also like, it feels like a space you know, you are taking back control of your life. It feels like a space, and I'm just trying to find the right words of this energy I'm feeling. It feels like a space of realizing you've shut out things that you've wanted to do for yourself. And this situation kind of withheld you. And I don't know what that specifically is because it's different for all of you. But there's something internally in you that is finding a way out. And sometimes it's hard to even, I think we question ourselves here. I'm going to get more on this High Priestess. We question ourselves because sometimes we don't believe that we can do something about it. Get more on this High Priestess. And I feel like with the Chariot, Spirit is saying, go for it. You know, go for your, yeah. Another 9 of Swords. And I feel that the battle, there's an internal battle still. Page of Pentacles. You got to be patient and take it day by day with this Page of Pentacles, because you're rebuilding your physical life, which is the 3 of Pentacles energy that I'm getting, right? Where I told you guys, 3 of Pentacles for me really represents the things that reflect who we are. And that's what this High Priestess, there are things about you that you're realizing that it doesn't always reflect who you are, and you're redefining that, which is this meaning of life here with the solar plexus. Again, your abundance, the flow of your life, what makes you happy, Empress energy. Give me more on the solar plexus. Yeah, so here we have Queen of Wands and the 5 of Wands, and this is about your drive. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, Pisces, or a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. But I feel this is you, Sag, Queen of Wands. So, and obviously gender side, but there's conflict of not really truthfully embodying your element. So it's a conflict within your spirit that is finding its way with this High Priestess. I'm going to clarify that Queen of Wands. Yeah, so emotionally diving deep with the Moon. And again, there goes the 10 of Swords. And of course, there goes the Empress and my favorite energy, the Hermit. So all the energies that are showing up that I'm mentioning here, that's why all the 9s are here. Because we already saw the 9 of Wands. We see the 9 of Swords. We see the 9 of Pentacles. And then the 9 of Cups. So all the 9s are here representing this Hermit energy, the 9, the self, the journey to the self. Also 999 represents an end of a cycle, which is showing here with the 10 of Swords twice. But this is to emotionally dive deep. So this Queen of Wands, you, is in a space to really dive deep and really follow your flow, Empress energy here. And this requires a lot of deep soul searching. And I feel like you're catching your breath here, which is why this Free Yourself. It's a space where you catch your breath and you're not ready to make decisions. So if this person is coming to you, right, wanting to reconcile, you guys probably are still in communication. Some of you have children, but not in a space to really directly talk about anything. I think you're good to withhold information, or not withhold information, but be clear about wanting to kind of like take a step back. Here goes the 7 of Swords, which we have here in between what I was saying with the 9s, the 9 of Pentacles, that no more lying to yourself about these desires, right? I feel the 7 of Swords is a robbing. It's a form of neglect, that you just stop taking care of you. And now with the solar plexus, you get to redefine that and emotionally dive into the space, which is the spiritual path. That's why this Queen of Cups and the Moon, it's deep. It's so deep. So here we have Judgment, which is truth, which is the Ace of Swords energy that we have here, right, with the spiritual strength. And this truth also is about a review and contemplation. So we see our past, but we also think about our future. So give around this Judgment, and it's an awakening for a lot of you. Yeah. 10 of Wands. Like this, there's an ending clearly. A lot of you are in different timelines. So just know that I'm reading the energies in the now. So this ending, the point of this ending is a reason. And the soul, the wands again represent the soul. The soul is desiring for change. And I feel that the awakening happens, this judgment. This is when the cosmos come in, the angels come in, whatever you believe in, source comes in and says, here, drop them. Drop the wands, drop the burdens. You have a choice. It's also judgment. It's judgment days every day. You get to clear your day and start over and do right by you. And so this allows for the Fool. So it's representing an ending, but saying, hey, then how do we start over with the Fool? Give me more on this Fool. Yeah, right? The Devil. So how do we let it go? 4 of Pentacles, right? Focus on your 9 of Cups, emotionally happy. Something wasn't reciprocating here with the 6 of Pentacles. So the Devil here is just showing that there was an attachment and it will resist the change. But you know that this has been holding you back. And I feel the Devil and the 4 of Pentacles represents this need for change. So how do we resolve it? How do we let it go, right? How do we move forward? So let me see, get more on this Devil energy. King of Swords, very clear. Ace of Swords back, and the Death. So by cutting it away. Again, so much about death energy here, and ending and being clear and being authentic to you, finding your voice. You know, this person could be an air sign, a Scorpio, but they're holding, there's an energy of being held back here. Let me get more on this 4 of Pentacles. And needing to end this and allow the transformation to take place. Give me more on this 4 of Pentacles, Spirit. Yeah, so this connection is holding you back. 2 of Cups. There's a connection that just kind of keeps you in the same place. And so the idea of returning, changing things is in question here. And I do feel that, but I feel like it's just in question. And no one is ready to make a decision yet. Give me more on this recognition and reward. King of Wands, there you go, your energy again with the 8 of Wands. And I feel like this is an action of flow again. This is also finding inspiration and drive. And I feel like embodying your element, because what we're seeing is, right, back to the energy that I felt originally, is how does my life reflect what I truly embody. And I think there's an empowering stage when you're in the King of Wands energy. So this is about making changes, right? So let's clarify this 8 of Wands. You know, making positive change. Came around this 8 of Wands. 10 of Pentacles. You want positive change, and there goes you, King of Wands again. So double confirmation of something truly drastically changing. Now, for some of you, you guys will still have this conversation, because 8 of Wands creates communication. And some of you will have this conversation with your person. And depending on how this conversation goes is how I feel you'll make this decision. You'll make the call. I really do feel a lot of you will free yourself, right? Because this is about taking back control of your life. But also, if you allow the conversation, then this is still about taking control of your life, because now I feel that it comes with some grounds. Basically, really, I'm hearing ground rules. And if it's not going to be respected, then either way you have a new beginning. But the challenge to me here with this new beginning, because you have the Devil, is still this attachment issue. And also, it could be them who has the attachment issue. Sag, you guys know which one is who's who here. You know, maybe this person gives you a hard time letting go. But also when there's kids involved, it's just, you know, communication doesn't stop too quickly. So, it's one of those things that kind of distract the motives to the change, right? So let me see. I want to see, because I do feel there's codependent energies, and this is usually should represent, this deck shows me some shadow work. So Spirit, what is some shadow work that needs to be done here for Sag? What guidance can we give them? Okay, this is not it. This is just the cover. I always forget to pull this out. What shadow work needs to be done for Sag? Addictions. Think about the emotions you're trying to cover up. Deal with those emotions, process, heal, and release them. And that's the devil, right? So there is an addiction to what's we don't, and it's the emotion, right? We don't have to look at addictions as a negative thing, even though it's something that holds us back. We can view it as something and perceive it as something that just is our shadow, and something we are having a hard time transforming and transferring it to something positive. So clearly there is a hold up here, I feel, with this devil and this Four of Pentacles, where we're still kind of trying to see the light of the situation here. And I feel that the space is for you to deal with those emotions, process and heal, release them. Because once you deal with the emotions, you may not be aligned with this anymore. And it's just how the soul works. So let's see, what's the other one? Yes, boundaries. You know, that's exactly what I was saying in the beginning of the read, that some of you are really placing these boundaries, right? And coming to this level of compromise within yourself. So the compromise is within yourself, what makes you happy, right? So develop healthy boundaries to make sure you are emotionally and mentally stable. It's okay to say no. Thank you, Spirit. This is what I'm saying. You know, we have to know that sometimes they will intervene, and this will cloud our judgment, right? And this is where the judgment call with the Ten of Wands. It's like if the conversations or the interactions make you feel clouded again, and you go into the space of feeling heavy, know how to discern that time. I feel this is where you get to discern and be the observer. As the Hermit energy, we're back to this Hermit energy. You get to observe the space. The Hermit observes. And that also means observing your patterns and how you feel. And really dealing with the things that keep you cling to this relationship. If you know you don't want it, if you're questioning so many things, I feel like the spiritual path is a very stressful moment for a lot of you, or was a very stressful moment for a lot of you. But this is where the surrendering is, and you're done with the fight. So I feel that energy is really right. And there are a lot of things that need to be implemented in order for you to heal. So you need a lot of healing space, which is these two cards here, honeymoon and religious factor. A lot of self-care, self-love, and time away. So let's see what the blockages are for you, Spirit. You know, this is definitely a big purge. Yeah. Nurture healthy relationships. I feel like you're learning to do that. It being a blockage means that the situation really hasn't been in a healthy space in a very long time, and you're in a space of like questioning that. Yes, rituals, practice processing old wounds and working through the rhythm of creation. This being a block is something that you have to create rituals. So those of you, this is a spiritual transition. You don't have to call it spiritual transition. You can call this something that you're healing. You know, you're taking time out for you to rethink what you want, redefining life. But working with the rhythm of creation here is a ritual. So how do we create, what rituals we need to create to change the trajectory of our outcomes, right? and bad behaviors. Yep, falling back into old habits. I feel that's where the comfort zone is here with this new beginning. So we can fall back into really old habits, and this person may trigger that. And you know that maybe if you, by going back, maybe things won't change. But this is definitely something you have to like kind of decide for yourself energetically, right? As you do your rituals, as you process the emotions, as you heal, you know, and really see for yourself how you feel. Definitely this hermit energy, all of those areas, your emotions, what's priority to you. All right, so your guidance, yep, emotions. Let your deepest emotions come to the surface and release them. It's okay to be emotional. When you suppress them, you will only cause pain and blocks into your body. Those blocks are, again, the blocks into the body, the chakra. We're talking about your solar plexus. And I feel this is, again, blocks to your flow. Again, Empress energy is about flow. So Spirit is confirming here, to have a healthy energy flow, you must learn to manage your emotions and acknowledge them. So there's definitely an acknowledgement, a lot of rituals and acknowledgement and working with the rhythm of creation in order for us to really decide what we want. You know, relationships are lessons. And no one's saying get out, and it's nothing personal. You can repeat this cycle. Anyone can repeat the cycles of their connections. But the goal should always be, and this is how the soul grows, is that the goal should always be is what's going to be different. What value is it going to add? Is it going to add, or am I going to come out complaining about the same thing a year later? And those are really serious questions we need to ask, which then reverts the attention back to us and saying, well, what is it about me that feels that I need to do this, right? Because sometimes there are things that we feel we need to do. And there's like a sense of obligation for some reason that our mind keeps us stuck. A comfort zone, you know? So here we go. Yep, loss. You're allowed to mourn your losses and travel through the process of grief. Why do I feel like we got this for your reading in the general reads here? I'll know that from, hold on. I have the titles here. What did I say for you last week, Sag? Oh, yes, it was. The universe is forcing this ending. Travel through the process of moving on, which was the same card. I'm remembering it. And we got this same card here, Sag, last week, where you have to process through this grief, through the emotions, it's a time and space. This is kind of a time and space for you to decide and reflect and dive deep. So, my lovely Sages, I say this with so much love. Again, if you guys want a personal reading, please, the email is in the description box below. Like, share, subscribe, click that bell button if you enjoyed my frequency. But remember to live always relentlessly and striving aspiration. This is the evolution of your soul. And I'm here to nurture you until next message. Bye.